Okay, I don't know what was going on. I was getting repeated error messages. So you missed the little intro song, and you missed. I was talking to myself for 2 minutes, and now I'm on the live stream. Yay, technology. Okay, it is Monday, July 15th, 2024, and I'm back from our vacation. I haven't had a live stream in 2 weeks. I'm sure you're all glad to see me back, and I'm glad to be back. Um, for those of you that don't know, we went on a Mediterranean cruise, and what that involved was, of course, flying over to Barcelona, Spain, which was a 9-hour flight, and then boarding the Scarlet Lady Virgin Voyages cruise ship, and we did that with 3 other couples. And we've been doing group events like this for a while now, and this was our biggest one overall. Last year we did a road trip where we traveled up through from Georgia up into Kentucky and Tennessee and all over the place. And I think it was last year, maybe the year before. And this year was our big one. So we're happy to be back. I'm glad to be back. It took me a good 3 days to get back on my body clock, get it right. It's a 6-hour time difference, and they are ahead of us 6 hours. So if you can imagine, if you are 6 in the evening is 6 at midnight, right? 6 hours ahead. Yeah, so 6 hours, it's midnight there. So you start eating at different schedules and getting all out of sync. And we finally, after a week of being on the cruise ship, whatever, got adapted to that timeline. And then we came back, and it was, whoa, it was difficult. But we had a fantastic time. And I will be making a video that will be probably posted on my regular Joe Daddy's Garage page. And I took a lot of footage. I filmed with my GoPro. I filmed with my Insta360. And that has led to some other problems because my computer's old and it won't process the Insta360 footage like it should. And so I actually went and bought another computer, and I'm going to have to get up to speed on that editing process for that. So as you know, there's really not much of anything has been happening in the garage in the last 2 weeks overall. I did do some home stuff, and of course I've had to mow the yard and do different things. But it's great to be back here in the garage, and of course being here with all of you tonight. So hope everybody had if you haven't already had your summer vacation, you're running out of time. I hope you have done something to enjoy the summer. It's been hot, and I think currently it's here in Georgia it's 86 degrees, and so that's a challenge. And the weather there was fantastic. We went to Barcelona, we went to Pisa, seen the Leaning Tower of Pisa. We ended up going to Corsica, Formentera, and I don't know, several places. We ended up from Spain to France to Italy and then back to Spain or something. So it was a lot of fun. And just great to see a different part of the world entirely. So anyway, I hope everybody is doing well. Let's get started tonight, and we're going to talk about cars and see what we have going on. And I've got some possible good news with future projects here in the shop. So trying to work out some details with that. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit as well. So let's get started and see who is here. And first in is Rick Gain. Welcome back. 96 in New Jersey tonight. Need good, relaxing talk. Glad you're here, Rick. Hopefully we can have that. I know it's just me talking, but hopefully we can have that, and everybody can maybe get something out of this live stream tonight. Robert checking in. Evening all. Might have rain and highs under 100 by the middle of the week. A very rare relief from summer. Yeah, I was looking at my... by the way, glad you're here. I was looking at my weather, and it's going to get below 90 next week, which will be fantastic. Hopefully, it's supposed to rain over the next couple days, I think, and we're supposed to be celebrating our grandson's 5th birthday on Saturday, and I know it's supposed to be a pool party. Hopefully, it doesn't rain. That would be disappointing. Terry Keithley checking in. Good evening, and I'm sure Betty too. I hope. Good evening, good Monday, everyone. Please give Barry a thumbs up and a like. Yes, thank you, Terry. Glad you're here. Derek Pro. Hi, Barry, everyone. Hope all is well. Looks like you had a very nice trip. Now back to the fun. Yes, back to the fun. I'm just going to have to share this. I did download one picture. I took hundreds of pictures, by the way, but I'm not going to share all those here. I think this car was in, I think it was in France. Look at this thing. That is a little electric, I don't even know what it was. I just saw it and I was like, oh my gosh. It's about maybe the size of a smart car. But I was just surprised. I mean, all the cars over in Europe seemingly are very small, but that was the smallest one I think I've seen, or that we had seen over there. But yeah, they drive a lot of small cars, especially in any of those countries. They're small cars, or in Spain there are mopeds and small scooter type things everywhere. I was surprised. We only saw one guy knocked over, or an accident, and that was on when we were leaving. It was a guy got hit on a scooter moped thing, wiped him out. He was a bit bloody, but they're everywhere. I'm just amazed at how many I saw. Donnie Williams checking in, got me a thumbs up there. Thank you, Donnie. Appreciate you being here. Rick Stevenson, evening, everyone, and welcome home, Barry. Thank you, Rick. Time for that coffee. Glad you're here, Rick. Steve Reed. Hello, Barry, and everyone. Hope you had a great vacation. Thank you, sir. Glad you're here. Troy Justit. Yes, it was a great vacation. Welcome back, Barry. It's been too hot the past week to work in the garage, but rain today made it better. Yes. I managed to get the yard mowed in about an hour. I was out there like, oh, is it going to rain? I got to go. Because the grass I had already mowed it late last week, and it's just been crazy, so I had to knock it down again. Dave Britton, I hope your vacation went well. It did. The only things that I'll say that everything went really well. It did. It was all organized. Everything went fine. The things that I don't like or didn't like, we did excursions, and you go get off the ship, get on a tour bus, they take you to point B, and then you have X amount of time to do something. That's all well and good. Usually it ends up like go take some pictures and get something to eat. I'm not that person. I want to be like, I study things. I study how a building is put together. I study how their windows are made. I look at everything, and I look at how the roads are laid out, and I look at cars, and I could just sit, for hours looking at some of the old architecture and try to understand how they built the thing or how they, whatever. I don't like that sense of feeling rushed. And we ended up going to, I think it was in France. Of course, it said Notre Dame something, but it wasn't like the Notre Dame. It was another big church. And to get to it, you ride this tour bus through these little tiny streets, and they were behind schedule. They show up, and of course there's tour buses everywhere, and they stop on this hill. And I say, okay, it's 162 steps up to the church. Well, they don't tell you that it's also 500 yards on an incline like this, sidewalk, just to get to the steps. Once you get there, you can either take an elevator like everybody else, or you can climb another 100 steps to get up to the church thing. And it was beautiful. I mean, it was amazing, and the scenery was incredible. But it was like, you have 30 minutes. See what you can do. So, well, that's terrible. That part I don't like. I want to be able to wander a little bit and go window shopping or whatever. I don't like to feel rushed when I'm trying to do some sightseeing. So that's my only thing that really bugs me about these kind of trips. When we did our road trip, we had planned stops like it. We went to Churchill Downs. We went to the Louisville, the bat place where they make the sluggers, right? We did a bourbon tour, and everywhere we went, it was casual and relaxed, and we could just take our time. But these kind of things, it's like, hey, hurry up. Ah. So anyway, C&J Hoyt, welcome back. Hope you had a great vacation. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Steve Reed, been, I guess, welding on my Mustang. Don't know if I'm getting hotter than the welder. It's been in the upper 90s, and heat index is 105 to 110. Yeah, that's plenty hot, especially when you're out, you're trying to weld and all that. I've been there, done that. Jerry is checking in. Howdy, Barry. Howdy, y'all. Hope you had a wonderful vacation. Glad you were back. So Robert will be out of my hair for the next 90 minutes. Have a good live stream. Thank you, Jerry. Yeah, we had a good flight. Better flight coming back from Barcelona than the flight over. At one point, we were flying, and we were getting right into Barcelona, and the pilot was like, I need everyone to put their seatbelts on right now. I need our attendants to get seated and put on their seatbelts right now. We're about to hit some rough, and it was like, and had one of those moments where the plane's doing all this stuff, and people were screaming. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Screaming's not going to help. But I mean, it was pretty jarring for a little bit there, but we obviously made it through it. Tommy checking in from Busted Knuckle Garage. Glad you're here. And just checking in. Ed Cucciarella. Hello. Welcome back. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate you. Dave Tyson. Good evening, all. Good evening, Dave. I think it's our second Dave sighting, right? Nandu. Good evening, Barry and everyone. Barry, hope you enjoyed your time on vacation. It's been hot in Pennsylvania like everywhere else. Yes. Glad you're here. Blind Luck Mechanic. Hope you enjoyed your vacay. Hot as can be here, but we chipping away at the 65. All right. Awesome. That's good. Marcus Frisk. Good evening from south of Houston, where we once again have electricity. Hard to work without power. That is accurate. I'm glad you have your electricity back. Blind Luck Mechanic scored me some 2003 GT Mustang PBR calipers, rotors, and SN95 spindles. We're modernizing this thing. Modernizing this thing. Gotcha. That's awesome. Good. Rusty. Hello all from Southern Indiana. Thumbs up for Barry. Hope you had a great vacation. The Corvette Museum looked pretty cool. I was there 25 years ago. Yeah. That was my second trip to the Corvette Museum. I went, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. I don't remember now how long ago. Maybe it was 2 years ago. And when I went on the first trip, they still had all the wreck cars on display inside that dome thing. And I thought that was brilliant. What do I know? To me, telling the story of those cars getting crushed or, caved in and all that stuff, I think they should have left them like that. I know they were at one time mint condition or whatever, but they have since fixed all those cars. And now it just doesn't have as much appeal to me. I want to see those again. I like to look at things, and you can look. Corvettes are cool. You can see the designs and all that stuff. But seeing some that are wrecked or damaged or raced and got junk, hit them and all that sort of thing, that's the cool thing. That shows that they were used. But those ones that were damaged, they should have just left them up there. Just put them back on display, right in the same spots, and have like a in the background, have like a hologram or something of the car before, and then what it looks like now. And I think it would have been more appealing. Get more people to come in there. David Outdoor 74 Homesteading. Did you change your name? Used to be just Outdoor 74. Hello from Syracuse. Glad you're here. Travis Holtman. Hey, Barry. Hey, Travis. Glad you're here. Dave Conville, welcome back, World Traveler. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Dave. It was quite the experience. Oh, and by the way, they warn you. We've been warned about the beaches. We were warned about the beaches. Um, I don't think we were completely prepared. When it says clothing optional, they really do mean clothing optional, and it was everybody was clothing optional. Like, yeah, looking over at guys and going, "What's he pointing at?" Oh, it was different. We did not participate, by the way. We just kind of like felt like intruders. We did get in the Mediterranean for a little bit, and it's like, okay, we don't belong here. David, I've still got the Firebird formula. Okay, cool. I remember, I think last time you talked about it, it was having, I remember some sort of engine problem or something going on with it, but I don't remember it right now. James Smothers checking in. Good evening, James. Also from my Mustang Garage, if I remember correctly, right? That's something else I'm going to point out. Let's see, we're in July. Mid-August, me and my wife are taking a road trip in the RV. We're going up to North Georgia, and we're going to be hanging out for a few days with James. At least I will be. Going to be working on a 67 Mustang convertible project that he's building. So that was something I've wanted to do, and I was planning to do with the RV, and he will be the first one that we can do something with. So that'll be coming up. I know he's got a YouTube channel he'll be filming, and I will be filming as well. So we're going to get something together on that, do a little collaboration, and that should be fun. I'm looking forward to that, and that'll be in mid-August. Yeah. So glad you're here. David Barry, I built a laundromat. You know what? I thought I remember you talking about that at some point, or I thought. I guess that means you're making too much money because you got to launder it now, right? But I do remember in one of your videos talking about a laundromat of some sort. They've written, Barry, did you get to Turkey? No, did not get to Turkey. That was not on the agenda. Troy Justin, I would love 86 here by the coast. It's been upper 90s with a heat index of 108. Yeah, sorry. Can't help you there. Jeffrey, good evening. Barry, looks like you had fun on your trip. I did. Glad you're here, Jeff or Jeffrey. It was a lot of fun. And of course the food was amazing. We ate all the restaurants on the ship, ate various places outside, of the ship in Barcelona, and that sort of it was fun. It was really cool to take part in all that. I know that there was some stuff come out on the news. Apparently it wasn't Barcelona. It was a sub city, or Barceloneta, I think was the name of it. I don't know how they lay that stuff out, but I think that was a name I heard, where tourists were there and the citizens were throwing water on these people at restaurants, telling them to leave. And there's been some uproar, I think, with that, because with the tourist industry being so dominant over there, the cost of living is going up for these people. And I get it. I wouldn't be happy about it either. But, I don't know what they can do. Attacking a tourist isn't really helpful. It doesn't really make it change anything. They have to work on some other approach rather than attacking somebody. But we didn't see any of that personally. But, it was in the news, apparently. Same time we were there, by the way. Also, we went to, we did a bus tour, and we saw where they had the Olympics in Barcelona. That was pretty cool as well. Again, I have a bunch of video footage. I just have to get it processed. Derek says, ride-in lawnmower. Ride-in lawnmower. Oh, riding. Is that what you're saying? I'm confused. I don't know Are you trying to say ride in or riding? I don't know. And it says good for your place. Are you talking about the little car? Is that what you're talking about? Like that? Is a riding lawnmower? Yeah. Yeah, that's probably not much bigger than my zero turn. So yeah, if that's what you're referring to. This is good for your place. Yeah. Okay, so Derek has sent me a picture. I'm gonna have to download that real quick so we can see if I have space on my program here to show it. Okay, so let me go back up here a second. Robert Bloxham, hello all. Hello, Robert. Glad you're here. Rick Stevenson, it was 99 here in Jacksonville today, 108 on the ramp at work. Yeah. No, don't want that. Derek just sent you an email, and so here's what he sent me. Apparently, it gets cold in Australia. Oh, man. No thanks. So he says, hi, Bear. Weather has been like this for 3 weeks and no sign of 20s yet. It does not get that cold here in Georgia, thankfully. Wow. Yeah, that's not on my agenda. So if I visit Australia, I need to find out when fall or spring is. Not this time of year. That's for sure. Derek says, I love the optional, non-optional, expensive tours. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, we went to the one, I don't know if it was Corsica. I think it was Corsica. Beautiful place. Just beautiful. But they put you on a tour bus, and suddenly you're on almost a single lane mountain road that I bet there wasn't, when you hit the mountain section, there wasn't, it didn't feel like there was 100 feet of straight road. It was a constant curve here, curve there, just missing a cliff, just constant. And at some point they stop and say, okay, here's a bridge with some water running under it. You have 10 minutes, go take some pictures. Oh, okay, great. And we did that twice. And then we ended up at some little side of the mountain restaurant place, which was really cool, by the way. But yeah, the whole keep moving, nothing to see here. Oh gosh, yeah, I don't like that. Robert, we need to take you to Greece and we take our time doing stuff and actually see stuff versus the Griswold American type of vacation. That would be cool. I would like to do something along those lines because really, it's going to the tourist sites. To me doesn't do much. I mean, it's cool. You see some things, but everybody sees those things. I know my wife and I did a trip in 2013, I think. We went up to Rhode Island, and we only went up there to visit a restaurant. That was the only reason we went. We had no other agenda. We had a 3-day weekend. We got up there, we did our thing, and then we just rode around. And we would stop at a park or something, and we'd talk to locals and say, what's something cool that you would like people to see of your area, whatever. And so we went to different places that were off the path, and it was amazing. So I like that more than the semi-structured, have a look at this and then get out type of thing. Don't like that so much. C&J, have you tried powder coating yet? Seems super easy to do so far. I was given a old vise, so I have to have it torn apart and in the blast cabinet now. I'm not sure what color to do it yet. I have not tried powder coating. I don't have anything like I have somebody locally who I can take powder coat stuff to. I don't have anything that would be small to do like that. And of course, my wife probably wouldn't want me to throw it in the oven either. So can't really take that into account. Bob Shoemaker, late coming in from 100 degree outside in Oklahoma, but good evening to all. Evening, Bob. Glad you're here. Walter Barger, new on your YouTube channel. Actually, thank you, Walter. I'm glad you're here. That is a new name, and I'm glad you are checking in. So you get a bell for being part of the program tonight. James Smothers, yes, my Mustang Garage on YouTube, but not public yet. Channel debut is July 26th. Okay, good. Good. Travis is probably saying to get you a riding lawnmower. I think, okay. I mean, yeah, I have a riding lawnmower. A 52-inch, zero turn. I'll never have another type of lawnmower ever. I will only have zero turn from now on. But yeah, thank you, Travis. James, but my Mustang Garage is up and running on Instagram. Yep. Travis, what day are you planning to put Slither on the ground? After it's on the ground, are you going to look at adjusting gaps? Yes. It'll either be tomorrow or Wednesday, but it'll be in the upcoming video that I'm making. I forgot that I had committed. A friend of mine has his work truck that he needs rotors and brake pads put on, and he also needs his trailer welded back together from some incident. And that was scheduled for tomorrow. So I have to get that into getting that done. But that is the next step, is to get, because Slither is still on the lift. And I will be getting it on the ground either tomorrow or Wednesday for sure, and then go back to refitting pieces of parts, make sure everything's going to line up, and see if there's anything I need to add metal to, which I know the driver's door, about 10 inches from the back corner, the stamping is incorrect. So I have to make sure I fix that and get that back into shape. I know that for a fact. Then I'll have to look at everything else and see if there's any fine tuning that I need to do. But yeah, that'll be the upcoming video. Derek, once on a Italy trip many years ago, we had one night in Rome. Tour guide wanted us all to go to expensive dinner. We said no, got some local deli food, nice rolls, wine, and enjoyed our time. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That was one of the things that really bugged me. I felt like we were being manipulated. Just put it that way. We had gone to Formentera, and Formentera is where they have the clothing optional beaches. They took us to that beach and they said, okay, you have, and I don't know if they were, I think in the write-up it said you would be there for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half or something like that. And then the second part of that is to take you to the city area where you can enjoy some food, do some dining, blah, 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 right? Well, we ended up being at the beach for almost 3 hours. And there were no bathroom facilities to speak of. There was some small, dingy little restaurants there. But then the bus showed up late. We get on the bus. They drive us over to the city area. The driver says, okay, so I'm going to show you some of the restaurants, and you can, pick where if you want to. I recommend you eat here, right? I recommend you eat here. We get there right as they're opening up. And he says, I recommend this. And then he says, if you want to do some shopping, it's that way. And you have to be back right here in front of this restaurant in an hour. That was the time. And I'm like, I said, what about that restaurant? He's like, this one's better. I'm like, okay. So we sat down and ate. The service was terrible. We finally got, food, which was good food. But again, the service was not good. As we're sitting there, I see the bus driver and the tour guide. They come in and sit down at a table inside the building. We were like sitting out in the open a little bit. They sit down. They are served immediately. Like, here's some water, here's your bread, here's some, oil, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff showed up real quick. And I was like, well, they've got some pretty good service. We're sitting there. We don't even have drinks yet. And we've been sitting for 10 minutes. We had nothing. So I'm like, hey, can we get some service over here? Oh, yeah. So then the driver and the tour guide, they finished. They had their food and they're done, and we're just halfway through ours. Next thing I know, the bus driver is over behind the counter folding up napkins, folding up the paper, the cloth napkins, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why would the bus? Oh, wait a minute. We're being railroaded into this place. So keep that in mind if you ever go somewhere and they're like, yeah, you need to eat here, you need to eat there. Yeah, like Robert is saying here, he says they get a kickback from the gift shops and restaurants they take you to. Yeah. Lesson learned in that experience. Won't do that again. The Dutchman's Woodchuck says hi. Hello, Dutchman. Glad you're here. James, have you made a decision on the red 68 behind you? Glad you brought that up. I'm going to talk about that. Okay, so you know that I have multiple projects. I've got Slither. I've got my Mach 1 in the back. I bought this car because it was the right price. I've got the 67 outside. I've got the other 68 outside. And I've got the 68 Camaro. And, of course, I have Jade sitting up in the garage. Now, the plan is to sell Jade, and I'm getting to that point, or to that where I'm going to be able to do that, hopefully in the next couple months. And I was debating on what I wanted to do with the red car. I called it fangled, right? Because it's pretty messed up. So I've been, you think about stuff. You're like, what is it? Is it worth it for me to do this? Is it not? Where am I at in this process? Can I justify doing this or doing that? And I was kind of on the fence anymore about what I wanted to do, because obviously that is going to be something that would take money to fix it back up or get it, drivable or whatever. And I'd considered taking parts of that car to rebuild the 67 and so on and so forth. Well, I got an email from a follower, and they were asking about building a 68 fastback. Now, they were looking at buying a pre-built dynacorn body, and we all know those are not perfect. They have issues. But he wanted to build this car into a autocross type of vehicle. Well, he doesn't need shock towers. He doesn't. There's certain things he didn't want, and whatever. And dynacorn doesn't build them that way. They build the body. Here you go. Now you got to do what you want with it. And I get that. And then you also end up with a certificate of some sort for you to get it registered, and that could be okay. I've not seen anybody have. I don't know. I haven't gone through that process. So in the conversation, he also found out he contacted Dynacorn, and they cannot provide a body for over a year. That's how far behind they are in producing that stuff. And so we talked about it, and I think we may have come to a solution. And that solution may be taking fangled, turning it into a fastback autocross car. And I can tell you that appeals to me greatly. And reasons for that is I recently had experience with a friend of mine who does autocross. And I've had kind of a dream about building, or, I would like to drive an autocross car. And I thought, well, I could take the blue 68, build that into an autocross or whatever. But again, that's money pulling you, one way or the other. So with this in mind, I can take this car and I can still build it as an autocross car, but for somebody else. And I like that a lot. He wants to put a roll cage in it. He wants to put in, coilover suspension. He had told me some brands, and I'm like, that's very appealing to me. So what you end up with is this car has the VIN numbers that is easy to register. You have something that still says it's a 68, and so I think we're hammering out the details, and it would be next year. It wouldn't be this year at all. It would have to be next year that that car gets worked on. So obviously I have to get the Cobra Jet taken care of, finish all the metal on it, get it ready for paint, and once I get to that point, that'll be basically the stop point on that car. And then I have mentioned I want to finish the 68 Camaro, and I still kind of want to get that done if I can this year, if I can, because I need to sell it. I need to get it moving. All I need is like 3 helpers in here, and I'd be just killing it. There's so much to do with everything that it's just hard to delegate my time in different directions. Somebody's got to film, somebody's got to work, somebody's got to edit, somebody has to upload, all these things. But yeah, I think we may be coming to a conclusion on what we're going to do with the fangled Mustang. So, and I'm excited about that. I really am, because I would like to see it turn into something that is much better than what it is right now. But we will see. We will see. Travis, selling Jade. I hope you never sell your Mach 1. Yeah, I think I almost have to sell Jade, to be honest. Believe me, I like that car. I like that car a lot. I really, really do. The difficulty with me is I will build something and maybe never mess with it again. Or, it's just, to me, it's all about the build. It's all about that effort of putting something together. Like Jade only has, I think I've only put 200 miles on that car since I built it. And it's out of sight, out of mind type of thing, right? So, I do have, obviously, the 69 Mach 1 that I want to build for myself. So I can't justify, to be honest, having the 69, the 68, another 68. Oh, and the other 70 Mach 1 that I picked up. I got to pick up at the end of August to do something with that too. So, yeah. So I'm going to have to just part with something. And there's a lot of interest in Jade. So I probably already have people that are willing to buy it today if I was ready to sell it. So yeah, it will be getting sold. Derek, in regards to the parts from Kentucky, they were awesome. Took 8 days door to door. Highly recommend. Great prices and service. Oh, okay. So is that from Kentucky Mustang? Is that what you're saying? I assume Kentucky Mustang. Travis, move to Utah. I'll come over and help you. Yeah, that would be great. I have a cousin who has a business out there, but I don't think I could share space with him. He has what is it? What is that place? Bavarian Motor Works or something like that. Out there, in somewhere in Utah, Salt Lake City. I don't know. But he does German cars. And I don't know if my wife is ready to move to Utah, by the way. Michael Pagliarini, evening all late to the party, chilling in the pool. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. The pool would be nice. Haven't been in a pool yet this year, I don't think. Because I don't have a pool. And Derek says, yes, Kentucky Mustang. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've also, all the latest suspension parts and stuff that I have for Slither came from Kentucky Mustang as well. There's still a few odds and ends I'm going to order for the process. But, yeah, I've been pretty happy with what I got from them. So, what else was there? Oh, I've done some... I put some other videos on my Joe Daddy's Workshop channel. I have that Evolution chop saw that I did a video on this channel. I did another one on the Workshop channel, and yesterday also, I fixed the AC on the RV. The bearing had gone on the compressor, on the fan unit. So, we had this, I don't know if you can hear this or not. Probably can't hear it very well. But it's definitely has problems. So that was a learning curve. Taking that thing apart and trying to figure out what goes, what connects to what in one of those AC modules that sits up on top of the RV. So I'll be putting together a video for that for the workshop channel as well. Betty Keithley, have a nice vacation. Did Ollie and Gracie miss you? Yes, Ollie did. The cat never knew we were gone, to be honest. The cat never knew. It's like, is the cat even here? But yeah, Ollie, our dog, yeah, he was definitely homesick for my wife for sure. Thank you, Betty, for asking. Derek got the engine on Project 65 purring yesterday. Run sweet. Now time to pull it all out and start the bodywork. Well, that'll be fun. I don't mind bodywork at all. Robert says grindy bearing. Yeah. And the thing was, we had the first trip out we took with the RV. It was March, so it wasn't really hot yet. But we had to use the AC a little bit, and we had to. Say, ooh, that's not good. We can't sleep with that thing on. So I had ordered the motor, and then realizing that we're going to be making that trip next month, in about a month, my wife's like, that thing cannot be making noise. And I said, oh, you're right. So I went ahead and fixed it yesterday. Derek says a bit of WD-40. Yeah. It would last for about 2 minutes on WD-40, I think. Dawn's Manufacturer. Hello, all from Hot PDX. Hey, Dawn. Glad you're here. Hope all is well with you. Hot PDX. Yeah, I'm sure it's hot everywhere right now, except for in Australia, because Derek had sent me this picture. I got to share that again. So apparently in Australia, it is low of 8. Now wait a minute. Maybe I ought to put that in perspective. That's got to be Celsius though. That's got to be Celsius. That's not Fahrenheit. That's like cheating. So it's actually warmer than we think it is. Because I'm sure that's in Celsius. But either way, I don't want to be there right now. Not with that weather. Not with that weather. Oh, that's the other thing. If this comes together as, the autocross vehicle, the owner also talked about putting in a Coyote setup. So this thing would be pretty serious when it's all put together. If it all plays out and we can make it happen. Derek says degrees Celsius. Yes. Okay. Robert, weather looks great there in Aussie land. 60s is very nice. Yeah. That's, now that I look at that, I'm like, wait a minute. Because that's not bad. That's not bad. And I know it's the math is always, the formula for that is Celsius is, you take that times 1.8 and add 32. Don't ask me why I remember all that. It's one of those formulas that I just can't get out of my head, and it'll be stuck there forever, living rent free. Okay. I don't know why my voice is already getting rough on me, and I don't know why. I will say this though: when we were over in Spain, in that area, of course, over there and out on the Mediterranean, man, I was breathing really well. I was not having any kind of sinus issues or any kind of breathing issues. The air felt clean. It's like, boy, this is really nice. We come back to the States, and it's like, I've had, I have some sort of, I don't know what it is, if it's allergy to the cats or whatever. Um, the End up having my ears get real itchy and stuff. And when we were on a cruise and out away from everything, I didn't have any trouble at all. Come back, and here I am. Same thing. Same thing. Tall red easel, $5. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He says, welcome back, and I appreciate that. Let's see, Robert, the air is drier and virtually no pollen there. That feels pretty accurate. I mean, I was really feeling good, and now it's like, just I'm telling you, my ears itch constantly, and I don't know what I've tried to get treatment for, and I can't. Derek, it's just a tip for you guys when buying parts. Kentucky was great. I had so many variations from suppliers for the same part, from $50 to $100. Shop around, guys. Okay. Thank you, Derek. Betty says she knows you were gone. Glad you had a good time. Drink more coffee. Yeah. Drink more coffee is right. You know, it's funny. We went when we were at the hotel. We ended up going to a McDonald's right next door, and of course the menu it's similar. You know, very similar. But like we'd ordered some little hamburgers or whatever, and the meat was about that thick. I mean, it was barely. The meat was almost so thin it only had one side. But yeah, that was and it was good. It was good. And we went to a Five Guys also, and they had. Yeah, I don't think they serve hot dogs here in the state. I don't know. They had hot dogs at Five Guys, so it was pretty good too. But it was really surprising riding around on the tour bus in Spain, and it was like, oh, there's a McDonald's, there's a Five Guys, there's a McDonald's, there's a Five Guys, there's a McDonald's, there's a Five Guys. They were everywhere. McDonald's is everywhere over in Europe. Derek Pro says, how's your eye going? It's good. Right before we left for the cruise, I was a little concerned. I was having some issues, but it's fine. It's 100% right now, and I don't have any problems with it. So thank you for asking. Don's Manufacturer, that settles it, and moved to a coastal town in Italy. Yes. And Dawn, you may just want to, I would say Corsica, but it's rather expensive. Corsica is, I don't think I've seen so many yachts in one place. And at one point we were riding through and I saw, we were told by the tour bus people that there are groups of like Porsche clubs or whatever, where they will ship their exotic Porsches over there just so they can drive them on the mountain roads. I don't see that happening for me. I'm not going to ship a car over somewhere just so I can drive it on a mountain road. So they had that, and then as we were leaving, I looked and I saw in front of this big fancy hotel just a row of exotic cars, like Ferraris and Maseratis, and I don't even know what they were. Just bright, beautiful cars. I'm like, this isn't where average people go. Not average people here. James says, but in Australia, everything living there is trying to unalive you. They have 8 of the 10 deadliest snakes. No thanks. Well, you just don't go where the snakes are. It's easy to figure out. If there's a small population, that's the bad spot, right? If it's a lot of people, your odds are much better. Robert, when I finally play the lottery and win, we are buying a place in Greece on one of the islands. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Travis, I bought my full floor and full sides from Carrid. Even after shipping, it was cheaper than CJ or Kentucky Mustang. I do like Kentucky Mustang and have had good luck with CJ pony parts. Okay. That's good to know. Richard Vogel. Good evening, Barry. Welcome back to the shop. Thank you, Richard. Glad you're here. Derek says good news and also in the bush. Yes. Yeah, don't go out in the bush and play with the snakes. Not recommended. Jerry says, yeah, but that is the second thing Robert does. The first thing is to upgrade his significant other. Well, yeah, okay. So if you hit the lottery, that's what you're saying. Upgrade, like modify, or are you talking upgrade, like get a different significant other? Oh, to a newer model, yeah. Yeah, you could trade in. What I'm just saying that you trade in a 40-year-old for two 20-year-olds. No, no. Don't do that. Fairlane Central just got here, so I'm off topic. But I recently sourced used radiator from 68 Fairlane from a small wrecking yard. $450. Hold on to your stock radiator, guys. Yeah, and that's there are companies out there that reproduce like exact copies of the originals, and I don't even know anymore if people recore those things. If the tanks are good, you used to be able to take them somewhere and they'd recore them. I don't even know if that happens anymore. I really don't know. Jerry says, yeah, okay. Derek, no more trouble and more expensive. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I really don't have much else to offer tonight. I know that I haven't, been out here in the garage. I've been trying to organize some stuff and get ready for the big drop of getting Slither on the ground. I think what I will and probably end up doing, I will probably shuffle the fangled car onto the lift, get it up in the air, and then that'll give me the space up front here. So I'm gonna have to do a swap, get the, just rearrange things so I can get the Cobra Jet out here in front, because I'm not going to play with the doors and the fenders and have it anywhere near the lift. Just not an option. So get it out here, right out in the middle, and get the with the fangled car up on the lift. That gives me the space under the lift as well for parts and different things like that. So that's the plan at this point. Otherwise, that's going to be probably it for tonight. My voice is rough, and I'm out of things to say. But I do appreciate everybody being here. There will be, again, more videos coming out, and I will be trying to make one for my patrons and one for my YouTube followers, so that they get the better of the two. If you're at all interested, there's a Patreon account down below, and I still have to put some content. I re-released the Art Captain video that I did, because I had to pull it because of people trying to scam because of the giveaway that I had on there, and so I re-edited it and put it back up. So if you want to watch that video, it's there. But otherwise, wait. Michael says, does anyone offer drip rails for a coupe, or can I use the fastback? They do not make those, but I can probably source some for you. They don't make those for the coupe. You have to save them. The fastback won't work. Completely different. So, okay. So that'll be it for tonight. Again, thanks for being here. I do plan to be back next Monday, and we'll see what I can get done in the shop this week. So stay safe out there, and until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.